Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horses sing.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Des monts et merveilles, monts et marais, au loin déjà la mer s'est retirée, et toi comme une algue, doucement caressée par le vent, dans les sables du lit, tu remues en rêvant. Des monts et merveilles, vents et marées, au loin déjà la mer s'est retirée. Mais dans tes yeux entr'ouverts, de petites vagues sont restées. Des monts et merveilles, monts et marées, de petites vagues pour m'embrasser.
All right, all right, all right. The show is Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin, and our guest today is a young lady who sings French folk songs, obviously, but she's also the reason why you can view our series in Staten Island. And her name is Helen Levin. Welcome to the show, Helen.
Thank you, Ralph. My pleasure.
Nice to have you here.
Very much so. I got interested in French folk music a long time ago, and today I'm going to sing a group of songs which really qualify as chansons poétiques. That's a category of folk song that's typically or only French. American songs where they're derived from the farms or the prisons or the labor unions and factories and so forth. The source for French music is poetry and folkloric traditions of France, and I got interested in that when I was a student and required to take French. And I felt, well, how am I going to get interested in, really get interested? I was a folkie anyway, American folk music, loved it, and a hobbyist. And then I said, well, maybe I'll learn some songs. And then I encountered at one of the record stores, when you could listen to the records, Jacques Douai. And Jacques Douai represented to me his repertoire perfect. And in essence, he's kind of the, in quotes, Pete Seeger of France of that time. So I got hooked on that. The song I just sang is called Des Monts et Merveilles, one of Jacques Douai's favorite songs. And it's from a movie back in 1942 called Night Visitors. And Night Visitors was while the French were occupied. They created a film, the director Michel Carnet, he wrote a film, and Jacques Prévert, the famous poet, did the dialogue for that film, the screenplay, and this song came from it. But I have to admit to you, I did the folk process thing, Ralph. I changed the ending of the song because the song ending was sad, and it was, I'm going to sing it now in English, my translation. The marvels and ides, the winds and the tides, and now the water meets a distant shore, and you're sweetly dreaming, dreaming songs of some far different lands. Gently move as you sleep, tender flower of the sands. The marvels and ides, the winds and tides, and now the water meets a distant shore. But in your eyes as you sleep, two little waves rise from the deep. The marvels and ides, the winds and tides, sirens of love beckon me to sleep.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. I took the liberty to do that translation. And the original song, though, was two little waves, which he sees in her eyes, to drown him. And so I wanted to change that into embrace him instead, the waves. And I got interested, as I said, when I was a student, I had to learn the language. And my next song is a song which is actually Jacques Douai, one of the 15 songs approximately that Douai did music for. And in this case, because he was basically an interpreter, I say was, he passed in 2004, he interpreted music, folkloric music. He wasn't that much into singer-songwriter thing. And so he took Rimbaud's poem, which is called Le Dormeur du Val, the Sleeper of the Valley. It's a very powerful song, and the song is, it's a song of contrasts between life and death. And Rimbaud, apparently, Arthur Rimbaud, in the 19th century, loved to ramble in nature. And in this poem, he talks about greenery, and I'll translate that poem for you in his very words. You'll see that the Dormeur du Val, the sleeper of the valley, is a young man, but he's not sleeping. He has two red holes on his side, and he has that at the very end of the song. So it's emotionally, it's a popular in schools, I've heard in France. They use that in the literature, that poem. Le Dormeur du Val. It's a little green hole of greenery, green in contrast to the red holes on his side. Where a river sings as it runs through a silvery slivers of grasses, where the sun over the proud mountain shines. Lots of personification here. A little valley shimmering in light. A young soldier, open-mouthed. Hatless he sleeps, his neck bent in the fresh watercress. He stretched out on the grass under a cloud, pale in his green bed where the sunlight reigns. His feet are in the gladiolas. He sleeps, smiling as a sick child would smile. And then it says, nature, rock him gently. He's cold. Rock him warmly. The perfume no longer quivers his nostril. His hand upon his chest, he sleeps in the sun. He has two red holes on his side. He's tranquil. And that's the song, and I think it has a lot of anti-war feelings to it in some ways. C'était trop de verdure où chante la rivière, accrochant follement aux herbes désaillants d'argent, où le soleil de la montagne fière. C'est un petit val qui mousse de brillant, un soldat jeune, bouche ouverte, tête nue, et la nuque baignant dans le frais que semble d'or. Il est étendu dans l'herbe, sous la nuit pâle, dans son hiver où la lumière pleure. Les pieds dans la gouaille, il dort, souriant comme sourirait un enfant malade, il fait un sang. Nature perce le chaudement et la froid. Les parfums ne font pas frissonner sa narine. Il dort dans le soleil, la main sur sa poitrine. Tranquille, il a deux trouches au côté droit. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a very moving poem.
Isn't it?
Almost made me cry.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but that's it.
It's good to
I
feel.
think it's wonderful. One that will cry with happiness of the charm and the absolute passion for nature that Rimbaud had in that poem and in some of his other poems. The next song I'm going to sing is there were other great French people who are not with us, but in that revival that we had like in America during the 50s, and they had around the same time, the 40s and the 50s too, in France. Unfortunately, it's not around today too much. Little places they have. The song I'm going to sing is Il n'aurait fallu. Now this song is a collaboration between a famous French poet named Louis Aragon and Léo Ferré, who was the most, to me, quintessential, superb composer and poet. Léo Ferré, F-E-R-R-E, and Ferré, and I'll go on. Il n'aurait fallu. And to translate that moment, il n'aurait fallu, it means it only took a moment. It would have been one moment more, and death would have taken me. But a hand came and took my hand. And in the poem, it tells